Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon to Dr. Nuriza and fellow friends. Hi, I'm Luqman. I'm Luqman, your moderator for today. So today, we will discuss about our case study or article review that will present by Group 6, which is Practice ECMA. So first and foremost, let Group 6 introduce themselves first.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Maisara binti Muhammad Azali.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Raja Nurul Azhar binti Raja Harun.
Assalamualaikum, and my name is Salim Sabman, and I'm from Group 6, and I'm going to be the third presenter.
Okay.
My name is Sivaneshwari Jayakumar. I will present the solution part.
I am Nurul Shifa binti Kiram. Okay, let's get started.
Okay. Okay, for your information that we have two sessions, which are the first session will be presented by Group 6. They will give their opinions and view about the article. And the second session is for the Q&A session. So without wasting our time, Group 6, you may start now.
Okay, thank you, Luqman. I will present the first part, which is introduction. Nowadays, as you know, environmental pollution is becoming a global problem, and business activities that have negative impact on environment have generated increasing attention. In this paper, Vietnamese brick production companies were practicing environmental cost management accounting, ECMA. This is because brick industry is one of the most polluted sector, even though brick manufacturers are playing an important role in development of industrialization. What is ECMA? ECMA is an accounting area and a useful tool of managing environment performance. Environmental management accounting consists of management accounting system and practices that provide information about the environmental impact on an organization activities. EMA will also include financial information on environmental costs and saving, as well as physical information to support sustainability for the company. EMS, which is Environmental Management System, are the system that organizations put in place to manage their environmental performance. And EMS may include recycling system and system to monitor and control level of liquid, materials, and atmospheric discharge and waste. Moreover, information about environmental costs is also very important to organization because organization committed to sustainability for the company. Environmental costs are the costs that an organization incurred to prevent, monitor, and report environmental impact. As we know, very few study about ECMA. So, ECMA is a new concept in Vietnam. In this paper, the objective of this paper are first to provide a clear image of ECMA application in Vietnamese brick manufacturing enterprise. Second, describe the environmental cost management practices. And the last one is analyze the views thoughts and interests of managers associated with ECMA application. So that's all from me. I will go to go more details about this case. I will pass to my fellow member. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you. So my name is Salim Sadman, and I'm going to be present the research overview, or you can see the literature. So research overview means the authors, the researchers. So only about that is research overview. So uh, according to this case is actually a story of the brick production in the Vietnamese. In the Vietnam, they didn't actually study, or maybe they didn't do apply the ECMA. That's why in the Vietnam, their environment maybe very much very popular, very much pollution, and also they cannot prevent the pollution. So first of all, we need to know that what is the environmental cost. So an environmental cost accounting system is a flow oriented the cost accounting system, which is based on a systematic cause and effect analysis, and and the, and the environmental cost accounting the contributes to an internal pricing system which evaluates the inputs, the processes, and also products within the real cost. So as we can see that environmental cost accounting is absolutely related to the management cost accounting. So if we want to apply, if we want to research about the environmental management accounting, so we need to also apply the management accounting because it is related each other. So according to the research overview, we can see that for the sustainable development, it's going to be identified on the 1970s, but uh, but until 1990, the application of the accounting to the environmental management became a very more clearer, or they got the proper information, they have the proper research until 1990. So after that, they see that if they apply the ECMA in any company, suppose as the brick production company or any other company, then they see that um, the pollution for the brick production is going to be reduces, and also they can get the profitability. So it's going to be related to each other. uh, so next is the World Resource Institute shows that environmental costs are accounted for nearly 20% of the operating cost at the Yorktown Amoco oil refinery. So Yorktown oil refinery is a big company, and they say they research and they found that uh, their operating cost was like 100%. So that means like 100,000 ringgit, and their environmental cost cost is the 20%, which is actually the 20,000 ringgit. So environmental cost is the 20,000 ringgit. So so we can now say that if they want to reduce the cost, of course, for the environmental cost accounting, they have to do the reduce the cost. So if they apply the ECMA in any production, like if one brick price is 5 ringgit, and if they apply the ECMA, maybe they can reduce the cost around 2 or 1 ringgit. So so another 2 or 3 ringgit, they're going to be saving the cost, and they're going to be profitability. They're going to be more profit. So ECMA is a very significant thing. So on the other hand, in the European projects such as the Netherlands and also the United Kingdom, London, they see that uh, they applied this ECMA and they got the proper result, and they also suggested this application to other company to benefit more, improve more internal management control, and also reduction the environmental impacts, and also they can prevent the pollution of any company such as the brick production. they produces a lot of what they produces a lot of smoking that is very much dangerous for the environment. Because of why, if a company doesn't use the ECMA and they doesn't use the ECMA and they still run the company, then like they're going to be produce the what smoking, maybe the chemical substances and other, and also the greenhouse effect. So that's going to be very much dangerous for the environment. If they're continuing this, then in the environments, oxygen is going to be increased and the carbon dioxide is going to be decreased. So it is very harmful for our human being also. So ECMA is actually this type of application that can be reduces this, reduces the cost also, and on the other hand also the also reduces the pollution also. They can prevent the pollution. Okay, so on the other hand, in the United States, there are so many initiatives. They are actually agency that is called USEPA. So some other agencies, they already do research and also the study about the ECMA, and they see that it's really worked. This ECMA application is really very worked and really very much helpful for the environment. Because it can be increase the profitability and also decrease the pollution. So they also published a business tool which is called a business management tool, environmental management accounting as a EMA, as a business management tool. So this tool can be identify the key concepts and also the other terminologies which is associated to ECMA. The terminologies means like the word analysis. So it's a very important role. So on the other hand, we can see, like for example, if anybody you have to cut the trees, and they always use that area for the industrial purposes, and they didn't fill up the trees to another place. So it's very much dangerous for the environment, because the trees also can be an environmental importance for our environment. So if they continuously cut the trees, then it's going to be very harmful for our environment. So next is, in the 21st century, ECMA has received much more attention when a series of environmental impacts have already created serious financial consequences. So ECMA also, they also researched that ECMA also, they got what if they apply the ECMA, then they got the financial consequences of the organization, like internal the financial how they can how the internal financial control is, like that. And and this ECMA also, like if a company already using the ECMA, like in Malaysia, the ECMA already applied, but it still can be applied to to another country, such as in the Canada, Australia, Europe countries, the USA, and also the London, and also the Germany. They already use this ECMA, and they got very much great results from this ECMA, and also the positive impacts for the environment. So of course, this ECMA also can be apply in the Asian countries, such as in Malaysia, in maybe Indonesia, but Indonesia, then also my country Bangladesh, because in my country, such as in my country, in the village area, there are a lot of brick production company, and they have to of course they have to apply ECMA for the environmental purposes. So but last but not the least, ECMA is a very still a new concept for the Vietnam. Because of why, in the Vietnam maybe they didn't study, so the ECMA application is gonna be ignored in the Vietnamese brick production company. So So in the Vietnamese brick production company, they haven't familiar the ECMA yet, but some other authors and the researchers, they already suggested and also supported, and also they requested to the governments and also the other big communities, big communities, they already requested that please apply the ECMA in the Vietnamese brick production, because it's very helpful and also very good feedback from the environment. So that is overall is Vietnamese need to be applied the ECMA application very nearly. So okay, so that is the end of my part. So next is gonna be present research methodology is Maisara.
Okay, now we go to research methodology. Okay, research methodology is one of the main key in the study of ECMA. Okay, what is actually meaning by research methodology? So research methodology is a path through where researchers need to conduct their research. So it includes their problem, objective, and also the result from the data that they gain during this study. So there are two methods used by the researchers to analyze the participant attitudes, perception, and also the concern uh, about the potential for applying ECMA. So the two methods are qualitative methodology and quantitative methodology. Okay, now we go to the first method, qualitative methodology. So in this study, the researchers are using in-depth interview methods. So as mentioned in the article, there are 4 different interviewees, include chief accountants, environmental managers, directors, and deputy directors. Related managers also will be selected for alternative interview. And basically, they will receive invitation letter along with the questionnaires before the invitation session start. And all of the information get from this qualitative data will be an important information as evident for the next research. And after collecting the qualitative data, the researchers will analyze this qualitative data by using 3 steps. As you can see in the article on page 108. So these 3 steps representing data validation and data editing. So the aim is actually to convert raw data into something meaningful and also readable. So the second method, qualitative methodology. So according to the article, there are many negative impacts on the environment and also increase on environmental costs. So this is actually because there is no study on ECMA in Vietnamese brick manufacturing enterprises. So the researchers are focused on the factors affecting ECMA application by using this quantitative method. So to discover the factors, the researchers need to submit the questionnaire to the respondent, i.e. the managers, by using the 2 options. So the first option is submit the questionnaire direct to the managers. And the second option is sending the questionnaire by using the email. So there are 238 respondents answered the questionnaire and 72 brick enterprises participating in this survey. So as I mentioned before, the business activities of companies are causing negative impact on the environment, and this would reduce the performance and image of the companies. So in order to integrate more deeply into the world and regional economies, as well as to achieve the goal of sustainable development, companies need to control and prevent negative environmental impacts. And this can only be solved by linking environmental information into companies' accounting system. So as you can see in the next slide, so in this study, there are 8 observed variables. The next slide. As you can see, there are 8 observed variables that affect that reflecting the level of ECMA application. Now, I will pass to Ifaf to discuss about the result.
Okay, so I'm going to present about results and discussion. So, results and discussion is divided into 2 parts, which are qualitative and quantitative. So, this is based on research has been made of the level of ECMA in Vietnamese brick production enterprise. So, we look into the first part, which is qualitative. On the next slide. I mean quantitative on the next slide. So the data obtained has been transferred to SPSS. This is for the purpose to determine what is the outcome from the quantitative data that has been collected. So first we want to look the reliability between observed variables on ECMA application level. So from the value that has been obtained from SPSS, the results is, yes, the observed variables is reliable. So we move to the next slide. Is descriptive statistic about observed variables that reflect the level of ECMA application. So the results is that it is proven that there is the application of ECMA but in low level. We move to the next slide. Between ECMA application and operation scale, which is number of employee. So the results obtained from chi-square, it is proven there is a significant relationship which is positive. So when the number of when the number of employee is increasing, so the ECMA application also increase. Next. Number 4 is to look whether there is the difference between level of ECMA application and operation scale, which is number of employee. So the results obtained from test of homogeneity of variance, and there is a significant difference in the variance, except for the number of employees, which is 100 until 200 and 200 to 300 employees. So we look to the number 5. On the next slide. Okay, you want to look whether there is a relationship between ECMA application and operation scale. Now we look into total capital. The results obtained from chi-square, yes, there is a positive relationship between them. So when the total capital increase, so the ECMA application also high. So we look into the last part of quantitative. We want to verify the difference between level of ECMA application and the total capital. So this in this part we use an ANOVA test. So the results is, yes, there is a significant difference. So when we look into the relationship and difference of ECMA and operation scale, which are total capital and number of employee, so we can conclude that the larger operation scale, the higher level of ECMA applied. So we move to the second one, which is qualitative. On the next slide. So this qualitative is based on situation that reflects the ECMA application in Vietnamese. So first we look into accounting information tends to monetary measure. What the data has been collected is the Vietnamese brick production majority ignored physical information. What types of physical information? Such as water disposal cost, water prevention and management costs. The second one is environmental costs are collected in overhead accounts, which indicates that environmental cost is hidden in overhead costs, and it is mixed up or linked with non-environmental costs. Thus, manager has difficulties to separate between non-environmental costs and environmental costs. Therefore, they cannot calculate the environmental cost properly. Also, they only allocate cost of general production, while the cost of business management is being abandoned. This is proven by the statement of all environmental costs tracked in overhead account. You can refer to the article. So we move to the next slide. Is allocating environmental costs according to traditional method. What is meant by this is environmental cost is allocated to cost centers which either products or production process. Take an example, they allocate environmental cost using production volume such as unit or working hours, also machine hours. And the cost allocated is for economic purpose only, which means is for gaining profit. So the unsuitable traditional method leads to wrong in making decision, especially in price. Therefore, there has been ignored their opportunities to cut costs. And number 4 is limitation in estimating the environmental cost. As far as you know, the brick production current accounting system contains only information on quantity, no reflection on losses, which indicates that when there is a loss or there is a waste, they just leave it like that, and they didn't investigate why is this happen, and they didn't have a proper disposal on those wastes. Also, the low level of environmental cost leads to affecting business decision negatively. So we move to the next slide. Number 5 is limitations in reporting environmental cost and assessing environmental performance. As you know, brick production didn't pay enough attention on doing the environmental cost reports. Also, they didn't use the EPI, which is environmental performance indicator, they not implement it to their operations. So this will enable them to report and measure their performance in environmental. Number 6 is making business decision based on inadequate environmental information, which leads to the uncertainty decision. The inadequate information comes from their unwilling to invest on environmental technology. You can read this statement from the article. Okay, we move to the last one. Number 7, managers have low priority on environmental cost because of their main purpose is for economic benefits, which is, in easy word, money only. Okay. Also, the manager underestimate the role of ECMA since it is difficult to calculate. So, what can I conclude from this research that has been obtained on qualitative? The manager have no incentive to adopt a ECMA. So, this will cause them to not making a strategic decision. That's all from me. Thank you. So I pass to Sivaniswari.
Okay, so I will present the solution parts. So the first solution is a design a separate account for environmental information. It means the accounts for the environmental cost should be clearly distinguished from overhead accounts. It is because when issue arises where the environmental cost added into the overhead account, as mentioned by IPA just now. So by creating a separate account, it will increase the ability of the management accountants to identify, to collect, to measure, and monitor the environmental cost. The second solution is identifying the environmental cost. There are 5 costs which should include into the overhead account. So the first cost is material cost of non-product output. It is a cost of purchasing materials which end up as a wasted material. For example, the second cost is an energy cost. It is the cost of using energy such as fuel oil, gas, and electricity to produce the brick. The third cost is cost of waste treatment and management. It is the cost of disposing of waste, composite costs related to the environmental damage, and regulatory compliance costs, and etc. So for example, if the brick productions dispose the wasted material into the sea, it will cause the water pollution. So the brick enterprise have to pay a penalty and fees to the government. So it is one kind of the cost which will call cost of waste treatment and management. The next cost is the cost of waste management and prevention. It is the cost to prevent the waste and implement the environmental activities. For example, recycling, cleaner production technologies. The last cost is the system cost. It is the direct labor cost because the labor are losing their time due to inefficient production and general production costs to make the non-product output. So the third solution is development of method for determining the environmental cost. So from the case study, we can see that the managers are giving more support about the material flow cost accounting method. It is a tool to measure the material losses during the productions. So the benefit of using this method, it will help to the enterprise to identify and quantify the material losses. Then it will enable the management to identify the problem areas and implement the measures to improve the process efficiency. And so it will increase, it will improve the material productivity, reduce the environmental impact. So the brick enterprise can save the environmental cost. The next solution is the make environmental report. So the brick enterprise should give more attention to prepare the environmental cost report to assess the economic and also environmental performance. So by generating the environmental report, can estimate the environmental cost. So the managers can do the fluctuation analysis between the actual and also the estimated cost. And they can also identify the causes of fluctuation. So once they identify the causes of fluctuations, the managers can take plan and the managers can plan and take action to control the cost, and it will reduce the environmental impact, and it will increase the financial efficiency. Then the brick enterprise can also take a better decision in the business. The last solution is build the environmental performance indicator. The enterprise can develop the environmental performance by using the absolute and relative indicator. So the absolute indicator is reflecting a magnetic phenomenon in a certain period, while the relative indicator is show the relationship between the two absolute indicator. So the relative indicator allow the organizations to compare the changes of the environmental performance and changes in business activities. For example, total environmental cost on volume of products. So by using this kind of the indicator, the brick enterprise can identify the environmental performance deeply. So as a conclusion, the Vietnamese brick enterprise should improve the management accounting system to meet the internal management needs toward sustainability development. So that's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, so the last part is the suggestions for the Vietnamese brick production. So some suggestions to promote the Vietnamese brick production companies, ECMA, are the educational and the professional development for management accounting department and the environmental management department. So it's not only this development is not only actually provide the knowledge of skills to implement the business, but also it can be provide the value of the organizations integrated to the members, thinking of the members, and can be also collecting. They can be also analyzing and also providing the environmental cost information. It can be so. On the other hand, it can be also develop the financial and also environmental performances for the management accounting department. They also can develop the mechanism of the ECMA in the brick production company, and also so on. So it's very clear that they have to help them and also better understanding the link between business growth and also environmental efficiency, and also establish more detailed plan for ECMA practices. So this development is all about to practice ECMA and to develop other environmental cost accounting and also the management accounting sector. The next is improving the connection between accounting department and also the environmental management department. So these two is a very important thing, because the accounting department is a very analytical part, or maybe the for need to be but for the collecting data is the environmental management department part. So these are the two different. So these two have to be the better connection between them, because they have to because management accounting, they have to analyze the data, so they have to collect the data from the environmental management department. So it's very clear that they have the close linked relationship between the management accounting and also the environmental management department. So that they can be they can be calculate more, they can be do report more for the environmental cost, that the costs are going to be more efficient and also they're also more effectively. So next is raise awareness of environmental managers about the environmental information. Of course, for the environmental information, all the managers should be very much concerned about the about the insider environmental management information. But from the findings of this one, this paragraph, we can see that some managers are not, some not, all the managers are not focused on the environmental insider information, because in Vietnam the managers are not focused. So managers should be concerned about it, and also uh, uh, other measurable thing and other processing thing, they have to collect the information. So all the managers should be aware about it. The next one is the government's action. So for the ECMA developing, so the government startups should be assist the board of directors. They have to be assist board of directors, such as the chief executive officers, chief operating officers, chief accountants, and also the chief managers, so that they can overcoming the barriers related to the value and also the professional practice of ECMA. Next is uh, like they have to prepare the general framework, and that framework should be focused all the company. Next is they have to provide the environmental annual report. uh, that can be that is why they can be get the info. That is why they can get the info for they can get the info, and they can also get the specific guidance on the environmental information, and after that they can be present inside in the reports. So last but not the least, if they see that they will get the better performance using through ECMA, uh, then they can exchange information with other countries in designing and development of policies to motivate ECMA in any enterprises, such as Vietnamese brick production enterprises. So that is why they can use ECMA application. So that is the end of my part, and the last part is the conclusion, and it's going to be present Asia.
Rashid. Thank you, Rashid. We'll explain the last part, which is the conclusion part. According to the result, we can conclude that brick industry adopted low level of ECMA because in many countries, ECMA implementation is early stages. In Vietnam, ECMA is such a new concept. So ECMA. So in this study, the study proposes some suggestions, just like it has mentioned before. This is equal to promote Vietnamese brick companies to apply ECMA. Lastly, in this paper, ECMA system will be built through the use of modern accounting methods that are appropriate to the actual condition in order to help the brick production enterprise achieve both economic, environmental, and social benefit for the goals of sustainable development for the company. That's all from us. Thank you.
Moderator.
So thank you for Group 6 for the wonderful presentation. I hope you guys enjoy it. So just a reminder, if you guys have some question that need to ask or giving some opinions, you guys can enter your name into the chat section first. So it will make more easier. So I think that's all from us. Thank you.